The Chicago Bears, led by rookie quarterback Tyson Bagent, take on the Las Vegas Raiders this Sunday at Soldier Field. Can they pull out a win at Soldier Field for the first time in over a year? Watch this video to hear my thoughts. NFL fans are excited for more action on the field this week. If so, I've actually partnered with DraftKings Sportsbook, an official betting partner of the NFL, to give you guys a great promotion for new customers, where if you don't have an account with them yet, download the app. The link is in my description box in the pinned comment as well. And if you sign up using my promo code DaWindyCity, if you put $5 on any wager on the app, you actually get $200 in bonus bets instantly. It's that easy. So I think it's a great promotion to take advantage of if you're new to betting or if you're new to DraftKings Sportsbook, to get a good start to your bankroll. And DraftKings has a ton of different betting options for you guys. So they have something called same game parlays too, which is pretty cool, where you can combine a bunch of different things happening in a single game. For example, passing yards for that player with rushing yards for that player with whatever else they offer in that game. And if you combine a bunch of things, you can get a shot at an even higher payout. So same game parlays are pretty fun. And if sports betting is not legal in your state yet, no problem, because they also have something called DraftKings Daily Fantasy, which is a little bit different, but you can also have a lot of fun using that app as well. So again, download the app down below, guys. Link is in my description box in the pinned comment as well. Use promo code DaWindyCity while signing up. Put $5 on any wager to get $200 in bonus bets instantly, only on DraftKings Sportsbook. What's going on, guys? I'm back with another Chicago Bears pregame prediction video, which I'll be doing before every single Bears game this year. So subscribe to my channel if you guys want my thoughts before and after each Bears game. And man, with the Bears sitting at 1-5 right now, it really does take a lot out of me to still make these videos for you guys, because I'll be honest, I'm not feeling any level of excitement right now for the upcoming games the Bears are playing, unless they turn things around really, really fast, right? And there still is a lot of season left to be played, so in no ways am I saying it's impossible to turn things around. But guys, you have to be borderline delusional at this point to believe the Bears can turn around their situation this year, okay? It seems like it's going to be another tank year unless things change really, really fast. And with our quarterback Justin Fields out for at least a week, at least this game is going to be out. He could be out for longer, but the good news on Justin Fields is that he's not going to be out for the entire rest of the year, right? Because he avoided going on injured reserve. He's not going to have any surgery on his injured thumb, according to Coach Eberflus. So we should be seeing Justin Fields back at some point this year. But it still does suck that he has to miss any time at all in a make or break season for him as the quarterback of the Bears. Okay, if he's not on the field anytime soon, the Bears likely are going to move on from him and draft a quarterback at the top again next year, which even if he was playing this year, with how bad the season was going, they could have anyways drafted a quarterback. So it just, the mood in the Bears fan base is at an all-time low, because our guy Justin Fields has not taken the step that we thought he would take. He's injured now too. The Bears are at 1-5, so things are just falling apart completely. But we now have a new quarterback starting for us, okay? Tyson Bagent, a Division II quarterback out of Shepherd that had an amazing preseason, a really good training camp period, and earned his way to being the backup quarterback of the Chicago Bears, which is a really big deal for any Division II player, okay? Because Division II players don't often get chances in the NFL. So even though I'm a Justin Fields fan, even though a lot of you guys probably still are as well, we got to show our support now to Tyson Bagent, rally around this kid, at least for this game, because he is a quarterback of the Bears, and whoever the quarterback of the Bears is, I'm going to be supporting that guy because I am a Bears fan first, okay? So big opportunity for this kid. I'm not expecting too much though, because he is a rookie quarterback in his first start ever in the NFL, going up against NFL athletes. So don't set your expectations too high, but I'm happy for Tyson Bagent that he is getting an opportunity to start and live out his dreams in the NFL. And who knows, maybe something cool could happen, okay? But again, I'm not expecting that, because he is making his first start ever as a rookie quarterback. But our opponent this weekend is the Las Vegas Raiders, who have a 3-3 record and have looked decent so far, but their wins have not been any really impressive wins. They barely beat the Broncos, they barely beat the Patriots, they barely beat the Green Bay Packers, but they still have 3 wins, which is more than we have. So I'm not gonna pretend like we're better than the Raiders are, because we're clearly not, okay? The Raiders definitely are a better team right now than the Chicago Bears, but they have been mediocre, I would say, at the very best. And their starting quarterback actually went down the last game, so we could be seeing Brian Hoyer or the rookie quarterback Aiden O'Connell in this matchup. So talking about the Raiders, guys, I'll be breaking down their offense first of all, and their offense ranks number 27 in points scored per game, number 24 in yards gained per game, number 15 passing offense, and number 31 rushing attack. And the big question here is which quarterback is going to play. Is it going to be the veteran Brian Hoyer, who us Bears fans know pretty well? He started for us back in 2016 under John Fox. Or is it going to be the rookie Aiden O'Connell out of Purdue, who had, some pretty nice flashes in preseason? If I had to guess, it's probably going to be Brian Hoyer because he's a veteran, and this Raiders team is trying to win now. They don't have time to mess around with a rookie quarterback, even though Aiden O'Connell looked decent in the preseason. So if it is Brian Hoyer indeed, I mean, like us Bears fans know, he's not going to be a star. He's not going to be putting the team on his back. But if there's a proper structure around him, which on this Raiders team, they do have pieces on the offense. They do have a pretty smart play caller, I'd say, in Josh McDaniels, even though Josh McDaniels has made a lot of mistakes as a head coach. As a offensive mind, at least with the Patriots, he was pretty good. I know that right now the Raiders offense is not ranked really highly. So, I'm not sure what to expect out of any quarterback the Raiders do start, but they do have weapons on this team. Obviously, the number one weapon is Davante Adams, who us Bears fans also know very, very well. Okay, he's destroyed us in the past as a member of the Green Bay Packers. And this year with the Raiders, he has been not having the same start, I'd say, as he's accustomed to. He only has 471 yards on the season, which is still very respectable, but he was annoyed last game. I saw in the news about not having the targets in the last game against the Patriots as he wanted. So he's definitely not happy with how the Raiders are using him so far this year. At least in the last game, he wasn't that happy. We'll see if the Raiders do get him more involved in this game, which they very well could, going up against Jalen Johnson, who is a pretty solid cornerback, obviously, but it's very tough to go up against a guy like Davante, who's such a nuanced route runner, a guy that knows how to get open, has body control, has a really good sense of leverage in running his routes. So Davante Adams is still that dude, and I'm definitely scared about going up against a weapon like that. But aside from him, they also got Jakobi Meyers having a fantastic start to the season with 335 receiving yards and 4 touchdowns too. So Jakobi Meyers coming back over to Josh McDaniels has been having a great season up to this point. I'm sure the Patriots definitely miss him, and he's a solid complementary piece to Davante Adams. And they also got Hunter Renfrow too on this team, who has not been used as often, but in the past, Hunter Renfrow also has had really good games. So on paper, a really, really dynamic, talented receiving core the Raiders have. I also want to talk about their tight end, the rookie tight end Michael Mayer, getting drafted out of Notre Dame. He had a breakout game last game against the Patriots and had 75 receiving yards on 5 receptions. So if the Raiders also get him involved in this passing attack, it could be a very, deadly passing attack, especially against a Bears defense that has allowed the second most fantasy points to tight ends so far this year. And obviously fantasy doesn't mean everything, but that means we've allowed a lot of yards and, touchdowns to tight ends so far this year. So hopefully the Bears can find a plan to limit Michael Mayer and the entire rest of this Raiders passing attack, because their run game has been really, really bad up to this point. Okay, they have number 31 ranked run game so far, and Josh Jacobs is only averaging 2.9 yards per carry. Okay, obviously the run blocking up front has been very, very bad, piss poor, but Josh Jacobs himself has not been looking like the same Josh Jacobs at times this year. So a very one-dimensional Raiders offense, as you guys can see. But going on to the Raiders defense now, let me break down that side of the ball. And they rank number 19 in points allowed per game, number 11 in yards allowed per game, number 8 passing defense, and number 21 rushing defense. They got defensive coordinator Patrick Graham there, and Max Crosby has been a one-man wrecking crew on this Raiders defense. Okay, he's been maybe the best defensive player so far in the NFL up to this point, just with how dominant he has been as a pass rusher and against the run too. Okay, both against the run and against the pass, he's been equally as good. He has 38 pressures on the season and 6 sacks. You guys saw last game on national TV, he was getting after the quarterback basically every other play. He had some pressure on the quarterback. So very nervous about how the Bears banged up offensive line is going to attempt to block an edge rusher like Max Crosby. It could be a recipe for disaster. But on the other side, they got rookie Tyree Wilson starting out of Texas Tech. And Tyree Wilson has had a terrible start to his NFL career so far. Doesn't have many stats to speak of. Has looked really bad on film too. Rushing the passer, there really has not been anything there. So we'll see if he can get going against a Bears offensive line that, at times has looked pretty bad. Maybe he could be finally getting on the stat sheet, getting some sacks on the quarterback. But so far he has been pretty bad. On the inside, they got Bilal Nichols, who, again, us Bears fans know pretty well. He started back in the Eberflus era for the Bears, and he's a solid run defender. Has had some moments getting pressure on the quarterback too. Nothing too special, not a superstar, but a solid interior piece. And aside from, these guys, like, there's not too many big names, I'd say, on this Raiders defense. Like, the sum of its parts are definitely greater than each individual talent. So that speaks to, defensive coordinator Patrick Graham doing a pretty decent job, even though the Raiders are, ranking number 19 in points allowed, number 11 in yards allowed, like not elite or anything, but they have been good enough at many times this year for what I feel like their talent level actually is on this defense. So, again, not a great defense, not an elite defense, but they have been getting pressure on the quarterback with Max Crosby. The secondary has some solid pieces on it, like Nate Hobbs, some other guys too. So definitely will not be an easy task, a walk in the park for a Bears offense that has struggled a lot at times this season. But now talking about the Bears offense, let me break down that side of the ball for the Bears. And they rank number 19 in points scored per game, number 19 in yards gained per game, number 26 passing attack, and number 7 rushing offense. And Tyson Bagent, like I mentioned, is going to be the starting quarterback for the Chicago Bears in this game. And I just don't know what to expect out of him when in college he went to Shepherd. Now, he does hold the all-time record for passing touchdowns in Division II history, so he definitely dominated at that level, but I'm just not totally sure if that's going to translate to the NFL level, because that's a massive jump. And he has looked really good in preseason, in training camp, and last game against the Vikings in limited time. He had a couple nice drives, some really good throws as well, but he also had a bad fumble, a bad ball downfield where he launched the ball for no reason, where there was no play really he had to make there. So I'm just saying, guys, like, don't expect him to be Brock Purdy, because a Brock Purdy only happens like once every 10 years, okay? If he is Brock Purdy, then great, we hit the jackpot, but that's not very likely at all to happen. And I'm a little bit scared that Bears fans are getting their expectations up too high and are going to be very disappointed when at times he does look like a rookie quarterback, okay? We do have to be fair to him and not expect him to be a superstar right away, even though the Bears as a team desperately need a superstar quarterback, okay? With how bad the structure is around him, with Luke Getsy not being a good play caller, in my opinion, like, I'm not expecting too much out of him. But if he can get the ball out quickly, make decisions under pressure quickly, if he can be confident, which it seems like he is, okay? In his press conference this week, he did seem to exude confidence, and it did seem like he believed in himself a lot, then maybe he can inject some life into the struggling Chicago Bears team. But just don't, again, be set up for disappointment if he does at times make mistakes, because he is a rookie quarterback coming over from Division II. But looking at the other storylines in this Bears offense, the main thing to talk about still is DJ Moore, okay? No matter how the quarterback play is, no matter who the quarterback is, DJ Moore still continues to dominate and get stats and look really good for the Chicago Bears, which just speaks to how great this dude is as a football player, okay? He has 582 yards on the season and 5 touchdowns, which is still top 5 in the NFL in receiving yards for anybody. So, I don't think it matters who the quarterback is. DJ Moore's still going to get his stats. He's still going to get his yardage, because he can produce after the catch. And when he can do that, you can turn a slant, you can turn a dump off into like a 40-50 yard game, which DJ Moore has done that multiple times. So, definitely the Bears offense is still going to be looking to target him a lot. Darnell Mooney has not gotten involved that much this year, which has been disappointing for sure, but we'll see if we can get some chemistry going with the new quarterback, Tyson Bagent. And aside from that, the run game still continues to be banged up. We have multiple injuries to our running back. So Deontay Foreman, again, is going to be the lead back, probably with Darrington Evans as the backup, which is that's not going to be terrible, right, for the Bears. Even though Deontay Foreman had a fumble last game, he did look very efficient when he did have the ball, looked to be a strong, powerful runner. I wish the Bears kept on pounding the rock last week against the Vikings. They maybe could have won that game if they did that, but they chose not to, because Luke Getsy at times is an absolute dumbass. So, that's a Bears offense. Talking about the Bears defense now, they rank number 29 in points allowed per game, number 25 in yards allowed per game, number 29 pass defense, and number 8 run defense. And even though these numbers look terrible, the last 2 games, the Bears defense has been a totally different defense than the first couple weeks of the season. And part of that is due to the fact that our secondary finally has gotten healthy. Now, Eddie Jackson still is banged up. I'm not even sure what's going on with this guy at this point. He's probably just getting too old, and the Bears probably will move on from him after this year, because he's gotten injured again in the last game, and he's going to be out for this game. But aside from him, Jaquan Brisker has came back. He's also banged up, though, but Kyler Gordon is back. Jalen Johnson's back. So getting these talented guys back in the secondary has definitely helped us out a lot. And the pass rush the last 2 games also has stepped it up, at least compared to the first couple weeks of the season. And the Bears in the last 2 games, man, they only allowed 20 against the Commanders and only 13 against the Vikings. Remember, 6 of those points came from a Bagent fumble. So looking pretty good right now for sure. Now they still do lack talent on this defense, especially at the D-line. Like, I still wish we had that superstar edge rusher or that superstar interior defensive lineman to make this defense even better. But if they keep on playing like how they played the last 2 games, anything is possible for this Bears defense with how they're tackling really well, how they seem to be locked in and causing turnovers too. The last 2 games they have had multiple turnovers being forced. And I do want to give a big shout out to TJ Edwards, the linebacker, because he has been just racking up tackles the entire season. He has 70 tackles up to this point, which is an insane number and just speaks to how bad the D-line has been, to the point where linebackers have to have this many tackles. But good on TJ Edwards for having those instincts, for having that ability to bring the ball carrier down, because he's been really good at doing so. And I'm also wondering if Gervon Dexter and Zach Pickens are going to get more playing time in this game and going forward, because it just seems like Eberflus is like subbing them out at random times. And last game, Gervon Dexter only played 27% of snaps, when the game prior he had the best game of his career so far. So I'm not really sure what the Bears are doing with these young defensive linemen. I wish they would get more playing time, especially with how bad Justin Jones has been. Andrew Billings has been really good, but Justin Jones, like, why is he on the football field instead of Gervon Dexter? Doesn't make much sense to me. So I do hope these young guys do get playing time on the defensive line. But going to the 3 keys to Bears victory, how could the Chicago Bears win this game? And key number 1 is going to be for Tyson Bagent to remain calm and poised under pressure. Now, it's asking a lot out of a rookie quarterback making his first start ever in the NFL, especially coming over from Division II. Totally not fair to the kid, but life is not fair. And with the Bears going up against Max Crosby with a rookie tackle, going up against Max Crosby, as much as I love Darnell Wright is going to lose a lot of matchups, a lot of reps in this game with how good of a pass rusher Max Crosby is. So there's going to be pressure sent towards Tyson Bagent's way, and he's going to have to be calm, have to be confident under that pressure, and not turn the ball over like he did in the last game if the Bears want any chance of winning this game. Key number 2 then is going to be to pound the rock to help out a rookie quarterback. Okay, how can you help out a rookie quarterback that probably is going to make some mistakes? It's by pounding the rock and sticking to what you're best at doing. Okay, the Bears have a really good run game again this season, even with all the running back injuries we have had. So, give the ball to Deontay Foreman, give the ball to Darrynton Evans, and let these guys, pick up first downs, make third downs manageable. So you're not asking too much out of a rookie quarterback. So you're not asking him to drop back on 3rd and 15 and complete a pass against Max Crosby in his face. Okay, that'd be a terrible situation to put Tyson Bagent in. So pound the rock and make his life a lot easier. And then finally, key number 3 is going to be to stay disciplined on 3rd down as a defense. Okay, the Bears' 3rd down defense, as we know, has been terrible for the vast majority of the year. It definitely improved in the last 2 games, but still not great, I'd say. So on 3rd down, guys, we have to get some pressure on the quarterback. We have to make sure we're not committing any penalties, giving any free first downs to the Raiders, because that's how you lose a football game against a talented group of playmakers like the Raiders have. With that being said, it's time for my score prediction. Who do I have win this matchup? And guys, I have the Chicago Bears, led by rookie quarterback Tyson Bagent, losing to the Raiders by a score of 20-17, just because I cannot be optimistic for the Bears anymore this season until I see them winning more football games, okay? Especially with a rookie quarterback, making his first start ever. I just do not think expectations should be too high for this guy, because rookie quarterbacks often make a lot of mistakes. Now, I hope to be proven wrong, and I hope that Tyson Bagent goes out there and looks like a Brock Purdy and passes for 250 plus passing yards, 300 passing yards somehow, and lights the league on fire, after this game. But it's just not very likely, and you should not have your expectations set that high for that rookie quarterback. But I do like his confidence. I do like his ability to get the ball out quickly. So I do think the Bears, could score 17, which would still be, maybe close enough for us to win this game, because I do think our defense can limit this Raiders offense to only scoring 20 with them having, either Brian Hoyer or Aiden O'Connell in there. Okay, these are not superstar quarterbacks. And even though the Raiders do have, good playmakers, the Bears defense has been a lot better the last 2 weeks. So I'm expecting the Bears defense to keep the Bears in this game, but I unfortunately do think the Bears offense is going to have some growing pains with a young quarterback going up against pressure with a bad play caller. you know, it might not be the best outing by that offense. As for my offense MVP, I'm going to be going with D'Onta Foreman. I think he gets, you know, close to 80, 90 rushing yards. He should be seeing the ball a lot in this game if Luke Getsy has any smarts at all, any common sense at all, because I do think running the ball is going to be a, you know, great way to take pressure off of Tyson Bagent. So D'Onta Foreman, offense MVP. Defense MVP, I'm going to be going with TJ Edwards, the tackling machine. I think he probably gets another handful of tackles and looks really good in the middle of the field for the Chicago Bears. But leave your comments down below, guys. Let me know what you guys think is going to happen in this game. And I really do hope, man, Tyson Bagent goes out there and looks really good. But I'm done being delusionally optimistic about this team until they prove we should be optimistic about them. So I'm setting expectations low. You know, hopefully Tyson Bagent proves us wrong, proves me wrong, but we'll see. I'll be back with my post-game reaction on Sunday evening. As always, guys, bear down.